update on the air conditioning that wasn't working on this 2012 Honda Accord. I'm doing the recovery. This is video number 2. Look back at video number 1 for the pressures and the temperatures of the different lines, and we will compare after I charge it up. I pulled 210 grams out of the system, and the air coming out of the dash was beautifully cold. There was nothing wrong with it. But 210 grams, what is wrong with that number? 210 grams when the system should have 500 to 550 grams. But yet we had cooling. It's a mild day, 62 degrees. If this car came into a shop empty and I was to use the little cans or even a bigger can, and I was to fill to temperature, and I put a temperature thermometer in the dash, I could have stopped at 210 and been okay, got cooling out of the dash, take the customer's money, customer would go on his merry way, and on a cool day like today would be very happy with it until we went somewhere very hot. But the compressor would not be happy, because the compressor would be starving for oil, starving for cool refrigerant, which we'll show you in video number 3 coming up. Update on the leaking condenser down there. This customer has several cars coming into this shop in rotations. They don't have time. They're going to order the condenser, do it at another date. They gave me instructions. I gave them the option. Do you want to do it now or do it later? They said just recharge the car. We replaced the bad relay. They had one in stock, and actually put a heavier duty relay in there that has a higher amperage rating, because the Honda and Acura's always burn out, and because they're underrated for their duty cycle and they're underrated for their amperage. That's why they always go out. So it now has a heavier duty relay. Probably will not go out until the end of this vehicle's life, instead of coming back 2 or 3 more times within its life for a relay. Now, some shops like parts that break because they consider that money in their pocket. Some shops like to do better than the minimum amount of work and put better parts into a car so they don't break down and come back. You have 2 trains of thought. You got the cheap guys, you got the guys who are not cheap, you got the guys who think about their customers' well-being and their customers' pocketbook. Then you have the guys who are starving, not making any money because they're maybe no good and nobody wants to come back to them because they have too many problems, and they keep coming back for the same problem, and a customer kind of goes, maybe I won't go to that shop because he's looked at it 3 or 4 times and that same part keeps breaking. So different trains of thought, different ways of thinking at people. Just decide what camp that you want to be in. Yeah, let's watch video number 3 coming up after I recharge it. So 210 grams, factory specifications, 500 to 550 grams. It worked excellent at 210 grams. Some people say don't disturb a lying dog. If it works that way, just leave it. But if he would have left it, then we get to have a customer come back who needs a compressor, and plus the system probably littered with metal particles and a burnt out compressor, burnt oil. Now we're going compressor, condenser, flush all lines, expansion valve, flush evaporator, because they just left it and waited until it burnt out. Let's prevent that, not cost the customer more unnecessary money.